I'll just give you some facts and figures which my colleague, Mr. Amitav, had made a mention. There are about 9,213 unbanked villages, that comes to about 10,000 villages. There are about 1,727 villages which are more than 5,000, which have a population of more than 5,000. The per bank population of Bihar, I'm talking of specific, the statistics is very specific to Bihar, about 21,000 people per branch, and all the 36 districts of the state are classified as unbanked villages, unbanked districts. A CD ratio of 34%, whereas the national average is at 77. And there are 11 districts which have a CD ratio of 30% and 4 districts having a CD ratio of 25%. So that's the level of financial inclusion that we in Bihar are talking about. Primarily we talk about a credit and a lending system when we talk about financial inclusion. I mean, that's the area that we focus on. But as economy has grown, the way rural economy has grown, wherein, for example, in Bihar we have about 36% of the plan expenditure out of 28,000 crores being spent on social sector. The economic activities in these villages have changed. It's no longer primarily borrowing and a lending phenomena that is happening in villages. People have, the aspirations of people have risen, their consumption patterns have changed. People do buy televisions, fans, motorcycles. Their primary economy has changed. I mean, what I meant was that now we need to look quite things which are quite different from primary lending and borrowing. With such a gap between the demand and the gap between availability, the traditional structures or the traditional system of credit, lending and borrowing may not work. My colleague has talked about business correspondents and PACS as one model. But there are other economic centers that have risen in these villages. For example, one can talk about the community information centers, wherein people book in their railway tickets, where the people book in their, go and visit these centers for their matriculation exams. They visit these centers for paying their fees. About every panchayat has a community information center. Those are the channels now. We need to now look at whether these can be agents and channels of financial inclusions. The self-help group is one of the biggest revolution that has happened in this area, wherein economic activities in self-help groups have risen. People, apart from just a borrowing and a lending activity or a chit fund activity, have grown into using these funds for their economic activities. People put in to buy seeds, people put in their money to buy fertilizers, people put in their money to buy even grains to offset the change in prices when the market prices increase. So these are the broad potential areas where now banking needs to financially include such segments and such category of people. Dairy, poultry is one area which has actually grown up, where you have your backyard poultry which has come up, your dairying institutions have come up, you have a big chain of comfort societies and large economic interventions by the dairy cooperatives. You have rural development. Narega is one area which has actually led to a situation where even a small laborer working on a rural development project is getting involved into an economic activity in a village. That's one of the largest area where financial inclusions has happened. And you have the self-help group loans. So broadly, these are the areas where I think now financial inclusions should include areas going beyond the traditional lending borrowing system of financing and include activities like this. Thank you.